Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna tell a lie. Never gonna. La, la, la. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna keep, never gonna keep. Never gonna keep, never gonna keep. Welcome to another episode of The Apocalypse. Congratulations for choosing the apocalypse. That's not usually the option most planets choose. But this planet is full of rules. Therefore, since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I am your guide, your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you again. Well, when the big reveal comes, that day finally, after all these years, when the right-wing grift / terror machine gets to prove their case that it's only the evil liberals on the Epstein list. They went to click that link, and it went to a Rick Ashley song instead of the Epstein information. That is a portent. That is an illustration of the downfall of your nation. When you click that link, hoping to see the big reveal, and all it takes you to is a played out Rick Ashley song. A song you've heard in every elevator and convenience store for the past 40 bloody years. That is the sound of the end of your nation, son. Congratulations for choosing the apocalypse. Now let us get to it. This is a great point I make in many different ways. But this person said it really well. MAGA pretending they don't know what's going on are no different than German civilians pretending they didn't smell the flesh burning in the ovens. Yes, this bullshit excuse by so many when asked, why didn't people step in earlier at World War II? Oh, well, we didn't know what was going on, Yeah, okay. Millions of people being fucking gassed and no one knew what was going on, right? Just done under everyone's nose, right? No. Again, that's a justification by human beings for the evil within them. That's all that is. And I've said this in many ways. There are no excuses for you people anymore. I try to think of them. I try to make them. I hear other people make them. They still make them. No, you had 3 chances to turn away. You did not. So that means I expect you to not turn away ever. If you do, that would be the surprise to me, not if you didn't. That's what I expect you to do. But this is a damn good point. MAGA pretending they don't know what's going on, what they're a part of, what they've always been a part of, what they're doing to everybody else, what they're doing to the country and the world. And it's just a bunch of mad, mediocre people, man, taking out their anger on the rest of us. By, let's co-sign the most evil, ridiculous people we can and call that right and good and like we're going to go to a good place and pretend when it comes to their door, I didn't know, I was tricked, I was fooled. No, you saw the evil, son, and you liked it. That's simple. There's no excuse for you anymore. So again, you have one chance to turn away before it's too late. I've told hundreds of you over the years, get out of the cult while you still can. That still applies, but we're getting closer and closer to the point where it's too late. It's that simple. Great quote, though. Great piece of work there. Oh, these are all the people. The New York Times printed a full dossier on all the DOGE people. And boy, there's so many more that we didn't know about. So let's thank the New York Times. And I assume the New York Times printed that because they see the writing on the wall. They see the monster they've helped create. They see this going to a really bad place. So they said, you know what? Let's just do the world a favor and let's just print these names and faces. Just to let them know that we see where it's going. That doesn't mean the New York Times and Maggie Haberman, that is, won't be working with Donnie in the future. That's not what it means. I personally think it's just a little shot across the bow, like, we see that where this is going, motherfucker. Are you sure you want to go this route? They already have overwhelming control of most things. You saw the press and everyone pay tribute. All the oligarchs, every single one. New York Times will pay tribute in many different ways, many different days. But today, they did not pay tribute, and they said, you know what? This shit's getting out of control already. Let's just print these faces and names. Now, remember, Leon disavowed everyone. Oh, DOGE, what the fuck are you talking about? Totally his idea, totally his thing. He's all about it all day. But Leon, once the word prison, again, got batted around, all of a sudden, threw every single one of these names and faces I'm about to show you under the bus. And then hired a new woman, or a woman to take the forefront that was already in the group. She's the dumbass that's going to take the fall now. That's how much of a sycophant her fat ass is. And boy, is she fat. Again, we're all about cutting the fat, trimming the fat, being efficient, cutting waste. Why this bitch fat as hell? Why don't she apply that to her personal life? You might think that's cold. These are the cunts dismantling and looting our country. Don't dare think it's cold. Don't give one of them the benefit of the doubt. They don't fucking deserve it. They know exactly what they're doing. They know who they work for. They know what kind of movement they're a part of. I can see it all over every one of their faces. And their destiny right now, every one of these names is the lake. Lest they turn away, stop being a part of it, stop being high level cogs in the machine. Because you guys are at the top of the list. The lake list, have you heard of it? It's in a spiritual book called Revelation in the Bible. I'm sure every one of you has heard of it. Because you're part of the, you're part of the team that is the literal antithesis. You're part of the team that ends up in the fucking lake. Every one of these people. You're part of ushering in a thing. Maybe some of you don't understand. You just want the money and prestige and the nice house and the car. But I think a lot of you do understand. Otherwise, you wouldn't have these positions. Even though some of you are very young, you're still into that freaky shit, aren't you? Well, the freaky shit my people are into is the lake. That's what we're into. So Leon's at the top, even though he disavowed all these cunts underneath him once the word prison started being batted around. We saw a 2-sentence memo from the White House. Leon has nothing to do with DOGE. Fuck all those motherfuckers. Let them go to prison. Satan, Leon, Donnie, throw everyone under the bus. Everyone. Always remember that. That's where this is going. And Leon already showed you that. Anyway, first we have Leon and a gentleman named Steve Davis. They're at the very top. Let's get a good look at Steve. We all know what fat-ass Leon looks like. Botox-ass Leon. Starting to look more and more Asian. Leon himself. That's not one of his better Asian pictures. That picture was probably taken a while before the most recent Botox. But there's Steve Davis. Check him out. These are the top level. What are the DOGE leadership? Includes longtime Musk aide, a healthcare entrepreneur, a digital services employee from President Trump's first term, and Mr. Musk's political advisor. So that's who these people are. Let's look at Brad Smith and Amy Gleason. We saw Amy yesterday. She's allegedly the top person, according to Miss Levitt, once they figured out what lie to tell. Because Miss Levitt didn't have an answer. That's Miss Gleason. I forgot this jerk-off's name. Brad Smith. Again, these are the people dismantling and looting your country. Remember these faces. They'll go down in history. Every single one. Not that history lasts much longer, because there's another concept that you have to come to terms with. Everything, all the works of the earth will be wiped away. So they'll go in the history books for now, and whatever justice they face and wrath of God, etc., will come. Then it will be all erased, allegedly, according to the story. So that's Brad Smith. Again, these are all leadership positions. Chris Young. I wish I could blow up the pictures a little larger for you, but I have to hold my hand on the screen to do that. It won't let me go any larger. Get a nice good look. I posted the whole thing in the post section, and I suggest you go check out the New York Times article, although I think you have to pay for New York Times subscription eventually. You get a few free ones, I believe. And then you have to pay for them, so you can't always read them. But I'm sure these images and everything, they're out there. If you just hit image, DOGE team or whatever, this will probably come up on your search. Now we've got DOGE staffers. Sorry, my mouth is very dry and my tongue's getting like stuck. Go to commercial. Go to fucking commercial. Okay, DOGE staffers have backgrounds in engineering, law, finance, human resources, and real estate. And they have often been assigned to specific agencies. So let's start with some of these people. Amanda Scales and Katie Miller. All smiles. I wonder, will they still be smiling? Lakeside. And again, when you lose your job, when you see your children's future crumbling in your hands, it's these people that are responsible. That's why I'd like you to get to know them. You're also responsible if you voted for it, but these people are the ones actually doing it, dismantling and looting your nation. So Riccardo Biasini and Anthony Armstrong. Let's show them again. Jennifer Balajadia. Great photo, isn't it? She looks so happy there. I hope they're all having a good time dismantling, stealing our personal information, letting their AI worm their way through it. I hope they're having a good time. They all look like fine, upstanding individuals. Adam Ramada, Brooks Morgan. Scott Langmack, Jeremy Lewin. Tarak Makacha. Looks like a really nice guy, right? Bet he goes to church every Sunday or mosque or whatever he believes in. Probably has a lovely home, nice car. Rachel Riley and Tom Kraus. Look how like nice and wholesome Rachel looks as she's helping dismantle and loot your country. She won't see much of the money, don't worry. But I'm sure she gets a nice salary for it. Believe me. I'm sure it buys her a nice car, nice house. Mr. Kraus too, I'm sure. Remember that when you lose yours. Marco Alez, Ryan Wonderly. Look at how young and fresh and full of hope, full of naked, sociopathic, blind ambition, every name on this list. Oh, our favorite, Edward Korestein, Big Balls. Look at this sociopath, my God. Don't look like a sociopath at all, right? Not one of those Leon cultist startup guys at all. And wasn't he into like protecting like pedophiles or something, using some program or something? He would protect their identities online and offer that as a service. Yeah, these people are into some freaky shit. Don't let the normal facades fool you. We've already uncovered what a bunch of these names have in their background, different sites they've been on, services they've offered, information they've leaked that they shouldn't have. These are the people that have access to all of your information, our classified secrets, our nuclear secrets. Do you understand? The keys were handed to these people and Leon by Donnie. Access to everything. The Treasury, the IRS, employee information, your information. This isn't a fucking game, people. That's why I'm showing you this. These are the mid-level jerk-offs. Any of them, if any of these are American, I don't know. Who is and who isn't? They're traitors to their country. Utterly, totally, and completely. They're also going to help usher in and loot and dismantle us. Usher in something so fucking horrible. That's why I'm showing you this. There's so many more. And we're going to go through all of them. Luke Farritor and Christopher Stanley. Remember Luke? I'm not sure, still not sure what Luke is, honestly. But whatever, man. That's not what I'm concerned with. What I'm concerned with is him dismantling our country, firing people via algorithm and AI, and then having to rehire them back because we put a fucking idiot kid in an administrative post over nuclear positions and shit like that. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Is this normal? This team of fucking jerk-offs, half of them or 3/4 of them straight out of high school or college, dismantling every government agency. You're cool with this. Even the staunchest fucking rube should be shitting his fucking pants right now. Especially, I can personally tell that a lot of these names, especially the male ones, are people that are utterly socially awkward and could never get a date. That also tells me something about them. Sociopaths. Angry people. They're also into some spiritual shit. Again, don't let the facades fool you. Leon picked these people for a fucking reason. Where the hell were we here? Oh, we showed you the first Luke and Christopher Stanley. Ethan Choutran, remember him? I can see the sociopathy all over his face. Alexandra Bainon. Gavin Kleiger. Remember him? There's even celebrities in the DOGE group. There's some names we know and some names we don't know. Jordan Wick and Cole Killian. These look like two very well-adjusted individuals. I'm totally cool with them having my personal information, your personal information, our classified secrets, access to payment systems for the government, being able to tell people in foreign countries, sorry, we're not sending you a plane ticket. Your shit has been denied. I'm some cunt Elon cultist picked for my fucking utter sycophancy and willingness to help dismantle the greatest nation that ever was. And they're also all helping Vlad Putin in this effort as well, because Musk is utterly aligned with him. Every Vlad candidate Musk endorses, because they're all part of the Nazi thing. Did you see the recently almost arrested Georgescu in Romania did a straight up Nazi salute? That's about the 4th or 5th one from a prominent public figure I've seen. Again, this is 2025, son. And don't dare try and tell me this ain't a Nazi thing, because we had the richest man in the world at fucking CPAC, or excuse me, the inauguration, fucking throw up a not straight up Nazi salute, didn't even hide it, and did it with sincerity with his chest out. Now we got 3, 4, 5 more prominent figures throwing up actual Nazi salutes in 2025. Some bullshit from some cunt 80 years ago with a funny fucking mustache. Let me continue with the list of traitors. Not just traitors to their country, to their God as well. And God does not forget, son. Think I'm here for nothing? Who do you think I represent? Greg Hogan, Ryan Rydell. And again, this ain't preachy, preachy Jesus time. This is Cat of Nine time. You wonder why I am the way I am? Even though I represent who I represent? That's why. I told you I was that a long time ago, years ago. I told a bunch of you that. You thought I was joking, right? I know. Nikhil Rajpal's picture is not here. It looks like that, but don't worry. I got pulled up the photo for you so we can refresh our memories. Don't worry. We're going to look at that one later. And Akash Baba, his photo is also not here. I don't know if they were fired. I can't remember. I don't know why the photos aren't there. Don't worry. I have his too. I'm going to show you that too. James Burnham and Brian Beld. I don't know how to pronounce that, but whatever. Kendall Lindman, Stephanie Holmes. Oh, look at these sweet blonde-haired girls. Look at them. They're so sweet. Look at them. Such sweethearts, helping dismantle and loot our nation. I'm glad they can get that, nice blonde dye job and the nice hairstyle. I'm glad they can afford all that as they take money away from poor families, as they deny payments, again, to people overseas trying to flee because all the funding just got fucking cut off overnight because of these cunts. As they smile in their LinkedIn photos, looking for that next $800,000 job. Fucking cunts. Christine Hanna, Stephen Duarte. Smile big. Smile for the camera. Again, I wonder if these smiles will be on their faces at a later date by a certain lake mentioned in a certain story. Maybe it's not real. Maybe you'll get lucky and it's not real. Cross your fingers and hope for that. Brienne Michelle Mladzianowski. Jesus Christ. Jacob Altique. Noah Peters. He don't look like a sociopath at all. Austin Rayner and Michael Russo. Don't worry, we're getting close to the end. I know it's a lot of traitors, huh? A lot of scumbags willing to dismantle our nation, cut Medicaid, Social Security, deny payments to people, deny foreign entities their money for contract work that they did. Frank Schuler and Nicole Hollander. Again, these are like the mid-level cunts or lower level.
Joanna Wisher. Oh, she looks so nice, doesn't she? Such fine, decent, respectable people. And it just reminds me, all these faces and what they're doing. And the shitty fake smiles for their LinkedIn photos, whatever the fuck these are. It just reminds me of our culture and how we're raised like this in school, to where it's intimated or it's even said, it doesn't matter how you get there. You just got to get there. Doesn't matter what evil you have to do along the way. As long as you, like everyone else, you get that house, you get the car, and you have that stuff. These people are the living embodiment of that. They've all utterly sold their souls, whether they know it or not. I could care less. The lake doesn't care either. It just reminds me of that culture we're all raised in. I've seen so many of you over the years with this attitude. It doesn't matter what I got to do. I got a family to raise, blah, blah, or I got children to raise, I got a wife, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Or I got a husband. It works both ways, men and women. Maybe you think that philosophy's okay. If you do, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that philosophy's okay. I see too many people compromising themselves. And I see others not compromising themselves. Justin Monroe. He's the last one, I believe. Yes, Joanna and Justin Monroe. Let's take a look at his punk ass. All you people still have a chance to turn away. A bunch of you quit the other day, like 21 of you. I don't know if any of these names were on the list. Probably not. Or the New York Times probably would have published that information. And these are the DOGE allies, associates of Mr. Musk and others who have helped carry out the team's work. So they even put some helpers here. Damn, the New York Times is on it. They must have really saw some writing on the wall. Maybe Donnie threatened to close them down or something. I don't know, or maybe Leon did. Because this is a very pointed story here. But it's certainly, these people deserve it. I'm sorry. These cunts, every single one of them, they think it's all fun and fucking games as they're drinking the cocktails after a hard day's work of ruining all of our lives. That's not an exaggeration. None of them care as long as it gets them a decent life, or they wouldn't have ended up there. So I'm sorry. And again, they have all of our information. They making a list, or they have already made a list. What am I talking about? They had that access weeks ago of you and your family and your information, every fucking thing about you. Down to your social security number, son. They even accessed that. They're about to cut a bunch of social security workers too. How do you think that's going to go for your social security check? I don't think it's going to help. But, they don't care. They have a nation to loot. Who are we to stand in the way? So Michael Grimes and Russell Vaught are the first two helpers, helping dismantle and loot your nation, helping DOGE do that, accomplish that, helping steal your information, helping steal our classified secrets. Joe Gebbia and Scott Cooper. And the people that voted for this, I see a lot of comment. We didn't vote for that oligarch to do all this. But yes, you did. Donnie and the oligarch told you what they were going to do in advance. He said, fuck it. I'm going to work. I'm going to take on Elon as long as it gets my orange messiah where I want him to be, gets my team to win. You knew what you were buying, a package deal where everyone gets fired. You saw what he did to Twitter. They still fighting for their severance to this day from that deadbeat South African cunt. You knew what you were buying. Don't pretend now like you didn't. I see a lot of that going on across the internet, and I knew it would happen. I didn't know what Elon was going to... I didn't vote for Elon. Yes, you did. You literally did vote for Elon. I even went on camera before the election and said, I know I don't have millions of audience here, but I have some. And I said, look at Leon and Netanyahu. Look at Leon saying, well, I can't be president officially. But, wink, wink. And look at him now. During a cabinet meeting, who's the first one up talking? Well, that's Leon, doing his best Nazi, Gestapo, whatever impression. Talking about, oh, oops, we fired the Ebola response people, but don't worry, they're back. No, they weren't back. Leon lied about that. And we have no idea how far that Ebola spread. We have no idea what's going on with it. Where the hell was I? Scott Kapoor, Thomas Shedd. Did we look at this cunt yet? Smile big, Tommy. When you're before us at the lake, I don't think you'll be smiling like that. Leland Dudek, Stephen Ahikian. We're almost to the end. I know it's exhausting. But all this must be documented and spoken into the ether. I'm very sorry. Antonio Gracias, Barris Akis. All the smiling faces of the apocalypse. All the smiling faces of Satan's hand. That's the end. Mr. Musk's team has taken aim at more than 20 agencies while gaining access to sensitive government data systems, but the full extent of its reach or ambitions is unclear. Wow, the New York Times. I'm surprised they printed this with Donnie in charge. Much of the team's operations are opaque. Indeed, they're opaque. They're not even responding to FOIA requests. They've made themselves above FOIA. I'll read that to you in a moment. I think you get the point here. They got everything already. It's too late. So the least we can have, right, is their faces and names, right? I think that's fair. Because they have way more on you, and I mean way more. As you laugh about it, as you debate for it, and the cunts in the other countries, Russia, India, etc., trolling from the troll farm, the American trolls, this isn't going to make your life better, what's coming. So enjoy the fun now. Because you're gonna see the horror too, guys. All of you, your little safe spaces with your 30 smartphones in front of you. Working for Satan. Being that hand. Being that mouthpiece. Like a good automaton. Like a good vessel. Ron DeSantis says Andrew and Tristan Tate are not welcome in Florida. Yeah, Ron's getting uppity. I'm surprised. I guess since Donnie came out and didn't endorse him or his wife for the next governorship of Florida, Ron's getting a little uppity, getting a little, stepping out of bounds a little bit. And Donnie made a phone call, or someone on his staff made a phone call, or Leon, to the Romanian authorities, put a few threats in. They lifted travel restrictions on the Tates. What do the Tates do? Well, they go where all the sex traffickers go for safe haven, straight for, Mar-a-Lago. They didn't go right to Mar-a-Lago. And of course, when Donnie was asked, I don't know nothing about it. Yeah, sure, Donnie. We already know you pressured the Romanians to lift the restrictions. We already know the whole story. They asked Donnie, he's like a little kid, with chocolate on his hands, denying he put his hands in the chocolate cake. That's what he did when the press asked him. So the Tates were on their way to Florida. I'm not sure where they landed. I think the press did interview them where they landed. And of course, DeSantis got out ahead of it and pretended like he was going to put up a fight and said, We don't want the Tates in Florida. We don't know what's up with this. The federal government may have jurisdiction here. We may have jurisdiction. We're going to see what we can do to help make this not happen. Ron was getting uppity. He was trying to say, I don't want to let the Tates into Florida. Not as if he cares. He's just doing it for optics purposes. He don't give a fuck if the Tates come to Florida. He just knows his constituents might be a little pissed. That's why he got out in front of it. If Ron actually does something to get the Tates out of Florida, that'll be the one good thing he ever did for Florida. But I doubt he will, because he knows Donnie wants them there. And I expect to see the Tates at Mar-a-Lago very soon. And Ron, you better be careful getting uppity. Donnie ain't going to forget this shit. That's the second time in like a week you're getting uppity now. Got to know your place, Ron. Okay, here's Leon. At one of many instances where he's begging for people to come back that he's fired because it's critical. We're seeing this pattern over and over again. I call it the Twitter effect. Leon firing everyone and then realizing, oh shit, I got to call, 50,000 of these people back and say, please, can you come take your job back after I humiliated you and laughed at you and made light of your situation and fired you like a dog via email. So here's Leon. That's Leon Scum, to be exact. There is a shortage of top-notch air traffic controllers. If you have retired but are open to returning to work, please consider doing so. And Keith Oberman says, that's because you fired them, you dumb stoned motherfucker. Exactly. Leon fired a bunch of FAA people, all kind of people. They still fire people. And then he gets on Twitter once, oh shit, there's like plane accidents all over the place now. Because everyone's worried about their fucking job. And then there's understaffing because Leon and the Hitler Youth and the DOGE team fired everybody. Now here's Leon once again for the 90th time begging people that he fired to come back. But he does it in a roundabout way. Oh, let's hire retirees instead. No one wants to come back probably. And he's too, it would be too embarrassing for him to ask them to, so he's doing it in a roundabout way. Look, we're hiring for air traffic controllers. No shit, because you fired them all. Fired the Ebola team. Oh, can you guys please come back? Because I'm a rich fucking worthless cunt, and I don't want to get Ebola because I'm the false prophet and I serve Satan. And I want to loot your country and laugh about it. And give worthless speeches at cabinet meetings. What the fuck is this fat ass even doing there? In a t-shirt, jeans, and a shitty trench coat, and a shitty MAGA hat, custom made for him. What the fuck is he? Oh, I know what he's doing there. It's the beast and the false prophet. It's utterly out of the ordinary. It doesn't even remotely make sense. And there's actually people, mostly trolls and bots, trying to justify it, because most actual humans that aren't being paid to spout lies are like, what the fuck is going on here? Even the humans that voted for this are like, what the fuck what is this? Why is this South African Nazi guy everywhere all the time? Why are we seeing gold statues of Donnie in Palestine? Why are 18, 19, 20-year-olds, whatever, having access to our information, firing people, cutting services for veterans and poor people, cutting services for people overseas, leaving them stranded, and then even denying them the money to get home? Why is Leon always begging for people that he fires to come back from our government? Why does he have any control over our government at all? Oh, that's right, because he paid Donnie $230 million. Because your orange cunt messiah was for sale, that's why. That's why you lost your country. Not to mention he's the fucking Antichrist. Literally, I'm not joking. Laugh now, be taken to the camp later. That's where this is going. Enjoy. And worship Donnie later. And I'm not talking about vote for him. I'm talking about worship him. That's where this is going. I hope you're prepared to do that or not do that. And accept the consequences of doing that or not doing that. And guess which consequences are worse? Doing that. It won't look that way at first, but boy, by the end, you'll understand what I'm saying. And you'll remember, damn, that guy in the hood and sunglasses, that couple years ago. And I'm sitting here with boils all over my skin, and I'm begging God to die, and I'm not able to die, and the days are shortened, but it's all torture all day. It's all judgment and wrath. Oh shit, maybe I should have listened. Maybe I should have taken those last few minutes, metaphorically, and did something else with that time. Maybe I shouldn't have been part of it, trolling for it, botting for it, whatever you're doing for it, mouthpiecing for it on camera because you're financed. Whatever. Free will, man. Elon Musk's DOGE can't differentiate between VS Code free and Visual Studio paid. Okay, I'm not a computer person. And what they have here, Department of Government Efficiency, this audit was repeated at the Department of Labor initial results. Agencies often have more software licenses than employees, and the licenses are often idle, paid for but not installed on any computer. Example, at GSA with 13,000 employees, there are 37,000 licenses, subscriptions. Yeah, I don't even know how to interpret this. 380 Microsoft 365 licenses with 0 users. 120. Oh, I see. They're doing what they did with Social Security. They're quoting numbers of licenses as if they're real numbers, and they're not. The same as the Social Security numbers when they tried to put that bullshit about 150-year-olds are getting checks. No, it put people that weren't getting checks in a certain category, and it was a code thing. It had nothing to do with people actually getting checks from Social Security that were 150 years old. That was a complete fabrication. So's this information here. I get what's going on. There's not that many licenses because the number discrepancy is too wide. Therefore, in other words, they're misinterpreting the data they are seeing because they're unqualified cunts who are just installed to loot our fucking country and install their AI to worm its way through our government and run things and steal your info and steal our classified secrets. They're not there to fix anything or cut waste. That's why they rush interpret data that they don't understand, again, because they're unqualified cunts. They're not there because they're qualified. They're there because they're willing to do this evil that they're doing. Look, Leon already disavowed them again. Said, I'm not the head of DOGE, even though it was completely my idea and I talk about it every single day. I have nothing to do with it. 3 weeks in, after, the pitchforks and torches come out, I get it now. Oh, here's a picture of the Tates being released. And Keith Olbermann says they're emptying out their prisons and their mental institutions into the United States of America. Indeed, they are. Isn't that what Donnie said about all the Mexican immigrants and the South American countries? Oh, they're sending rapists and criminals and blah, blah, blah. They're emptying out the mental institutions. Well, these sex traffickers were flying in. Donnie didn't have no problem. He didn't deny them entry. Said, come right in. And when the press asked, oh, I don't know nothing about it. Yeah, What, they're on a plane, they're coming here? He literally said that, as if he didn't know. Of course he fucking knew. He's the one who helped them get the travel restrictions lifted, or one of his people. So yeah, Donnie used to say that, and guess who the felon is? It's Donnie Shitbags. Not the immigrant coming across the border looking to work on a farm or whatever. No, Donnie Shitbags is a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, defamer, fraud. Convicted of 34 felonies, is it? So the felon is the president, the criminal. The rapist and sex trafficker, well, no problem letting these guys in, right, MAGA? The day we get the Epstein information, which is no information at all, and I'll go into that in a minute, is the day these Tate scumbags hop a flight over here. And of course, Donnie's name is redacted out of information that already went public prior, that we've already seen. They released it again as if it was new for the rubes, and redacted Donnie's name that we've already seen on the information prior when it first came out. My point is, do you want to have a conversation about Pizzagate and how liberals are pedophiles now? Should we start talking about that? Or do you want to have the real conversation? How you people are perfectly fine with sex traffickers and pedophiles, as long as they have an R next to their name, or they have the word acronym MAGA next to their name. Oh, you're a sex trafficker, you're a pedophile, but you have an R next to your name, so you're cool, I'll vote for you, I'll endorse you, I'll talk you up. Any problem with these sex traffickers coming over here, helped out by Donnie to get here all of a sudden? It seems like all the criminals and sex traffickers know right where to go, right where to flee to, right who to appeal to. Like Georgescu, who did he just appeal to when he did the Nazi salute? MAGA, the whole movement, and Vlad, because Vlad is a Nazi. Vlad is a white supremacist. Is that same ideology. This was interesting today. I keep hearing about this. The race to move gold bars out of London is so frantic, they're even in the cargo of your flight to JFK, per Wall Street Journal. I've been hearing about this, and when I went to the comment section, I wanted to see what people were saying about it. There was blue check troll after blue check troll putting the idea forth that the London gold was being moved here to Fort Knox because Leon and Donnie are going there soon, and there's no gold there right now. So that London gold, or that European gold, is going to replace our gold that was in Fort Knox. So when Donnie and Leon go there, they see gold there. No, that's not what's happening. It's not even remotely what's happening. That is a lie being put forth. Why? Because Vlad wants our gold. So does Donnie. So does Leon. Did you notice Donnie every single day saying, yeah, we're going to Fort Knox, and, the gold's probably gone. Wouldn't that be funny if it was gone, if they stole that too? He keeps saying it over and over and over. And Vlad just liquidated a bunch of his gold. And the Romanian presidential candidate promised a portion of Romania's gold reserves to his people that helped finance him. That means Donnie and Leon promised a portion of your gold, the Fort Knox gold, to outside people that helped finance all this bullshit that's going on right now and was going on during the campaign. A lot of people helped make that all happen. Financing, tribute, money sent to Donnie, all kind of things. So they're pumping the idea that the gold is not there, and these trolls were doing the same thing. That's the funny thing. They were spouting the same talking point that Donnie is. That tells me something. Again, just like Georgescu promised a portion of Romania's gold reserves to some people that helped finance him. Leon and Donnie have promised the same, and they're going to steal the gold. I'm pretty certain of it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be talking about it every day. And he's putting the idea that so when they go there, they can just come out and say, there's no gold, guys, sorry. Meanwhile, some of it's on a flight to Russia. Some of it's on a flight to wherever Elon's going to take his part. Some of it's on a flight to wherever Donnie's going to take his part. Why all the gold is being removed from London, I have no idea, but it has nothing to do with an empty Fort Knox and covering some missing gold. So to fool Leon and Donnie or something, or to fool Americans, that is a ridiculous, absurd fucking premise. I really do wonder why the gold's being removed. Maybe they know something about we're going to be switched to crypto soon, and their gold's not going to matter, and they want it in their possession, not in some bank that's going to keep it. I don't know, but it has nothing to do with filling the empty space in Fort Knox to fool people. That's a fucking joke. Again, that's Donnie's narrative that the gold's missing, so I find it funny that all the blue check trolls, and it was obvious, wanted to put that idea forth. The people that are moving their gold out of London, though, they do know something's coming. They know something's about to happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. And Fort Knox is about to get looted by Donnie and Leon and Vlad, by the way. They're making their intentions pretty well known. Mexico begins to release dozens of cartel operatives into U.S. custody. I don't even know what this is about. Why does the U.S. want cartel operatives that are already in prison? What do they need these people for? What is this? I have no idea why this is going on. And I don't care what you read in the article, what they tell you, what the real fucking reason is. Why does Donnie and Hegseth and those people, why do they want these people? What purpose are they going to serve? I'm afraid to know that answer. 18 unvaccinated children hospitalized as a result of recent measles outbreak in Ontario, Canada. Again, this measles thing keeps getting worse, and now it's in fucking Canada. Let's move to Donnie and the press. Mr. President, do you still think that Mr. Zelensky is a dictator? Because Donnie just said that yesterday, I believe, called Zelensky a dictator, not Vlad. Zelensky. Trump says, did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question. So he just, disavowed his whole statement from the day before as if he never said it, because I guess the blowback, or in the moment, he felt a little pressure from the other humans in the room. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best thing I could have said. I feel that way. I don't care about telling that lie. Now he's telling another lie, I don't believe I said that, or I can't believe I said that. He knows damn well he said it. But again, that's Vlad's propaganda. And that's what Donnie, Vlad, and the right-wing grift machine do. Everything is projection. And one of the things they've been saying for 20 years is pointing the finger at everyone and calling them pedos. So if everything in MAGA world is projection, what does that mean when they point the finger at everyone and call them pedos? Class? I think you know the answer to that. Donnie says he doesn't remember, and he can't believe he said that he called Zelensky a dictator. I just want to see what you're dealing with here. Measles cases nearly double in Ontario over last 2 weeks, far surpassing last decade's total. Uh-oh. That don't sound fucking good. But hey, we wouldn't know, because Donnie and Leon said, we know we're the beast and the false prophet. We know there's going to be a lot of plagues and shit. And last time you were in office, that plague shut down the whole fucking world. So we got to get rid of all these alert agencies and just tell them not to alert the public, and we'll fire a bunch of them too. So that's why guys like me have to go on camera and talk about measles in fucking Ontario. Because Donnie and Leon don't want you to know. I mean, they specifically, literally don't want you to know. Oh, this is about Leon getting the FAA contract that Verizon has. It's a $2 billion contract. So now Leon has looted $442 billion of your money so far that we know of just since inauguration. 442 billion. What did you get? Oh, jack shit. That's what you got. Hey, but you got your culture war. You got a few fake roundups just so they could open up a few camps and you wouldn't stop them or say anything about it because it's just Latin people. Who gives a fuck about them, right? Son, that wasn't why the camps were open. That was just to get the door open so the rubes wouldn't complain and no one else would complain. They're just illegal immigrants. They're the worst of the worst. Who cares? That was the point, just to get them open, get them accepted by the public. Now they're open, one in Texas and Gitmo. Fully operational. Ready to go. Ready to throw your punk ass in there. Down the line, don't worry. It ain't just going to be Latin immigrants. And I have a very funny feeling they want these cartel people for a very nefarious purpose. So Leon gets another contract. Verizon already had the contract. The contract was just at the beginning phase. Verizon really didn't do that much work on the contract yet because it's a years-long contract. And Leon just all of a sudden gets it now. And Verizon is ass out. And Leon has talked shit on Verizon. Here we go. To be clear here, the Verizon communication system to air traffic control is breaking down very rapidly. Sure, Leon. The FAA assessment is single-digit months to catastrophic failure. Sure, Leon. Putting air traveler safety at serious risk. Sure, Leon. The only people I see putting it at risk is Donnie, because since his inauguration, we have all kind of crashes, all kind of different incidents, not just crashes, near misses on the runway, all kind of shit. And again, maybe that's because people are scared they're going to lose a fucking job. And they're understaffed because we got DOGE cunts and Leon firing everyone. The Starlink terminals are being sent at no cost to the taxpayer on an emergency basis to restore air traffic control connectivity. The situation is extremely dire. Sure it is, Leon. Sure it is. It's not just Leon getting another contract, because that was the point here, for Leon to get all the contracts. That's why the office is right down the hall. That's why Leon paid $230 million to Donnie for that office. Because his businesses are all bankrupt. They're not making money. They're losing money. The only way he can make money is get new contracts from you dumbasses and have you pay him the money. And he don't need his old grift Tesla and all that bullshit anymore. He got a new grift. It's called the U.S. Treasury. Access to every dollar this nation makes. And it's called Fort Knox. He's about to go there and loot that. He don't need Tesla. He don't need a paycheck. He just needs your tax dollars. Greatest welfare queen that ever lived, Leon Scum. 442 billion in contracts so far. A good point I made earlier to somebody. If we want to find waste, well, let's get rid of DOGE. That's costing us about $8 million a week. That's not an exaggeration. We could get rid of all Leon's contracts. That would total over $500 billion. Just on Leon's contracts. That's not the $8 million a week going to DOGE and all those treacherous cunts utterly being the hand of Satan. So if we eliminated all those positions, all those DOGE positions, we eliminated all Leon's contracts, we would save roughly $8 million a week on the DOGE cunts, and we would save over $500 billion with Leon's existing contracts. We rescind those and we stop all payments immediately, just like he did to all the employees. Same thing. Lock them out of computers, everything. escort him out the building, everything, just like he does to everybody else. Same process. We save over $500 billion just on his existing contracts and new ones he just looted from you. And we save $8 million a week getting rid of all those DOGE cons I just showed you. Might be more than $8 million a week. That's a damn lot of money. That's again, over $500 billion and $8 million weekly. We talking savings, right? You MAGA cultist rubes are about savings, right? Let's trim the fat, motherfucker. I mean, we probably paying for Miss Gleason's lunch too. You know how much that's gonna fucking cost? Shit. That bitch fat as hell. Can't trim the fat, can't cut the waste out of her life though, right? Fat ass bitch. But you can sure cut them jobs. You can sure deny people's payments when they overseas trap somewhere, right? While you're eating your fucking ridiculously oversized lunch and dinner. Because you didn't get like that, not eating, son. Again, you people, you don't live your creed. You're all in your professional life, you're all about trimming the fat, cutting waste and fraud and abuse. But in your personal life, you're putting all that abuse in your body. And you abusing the rest of us by being hideous. And you abusing the rest of us by dismantling our country and looting us and helping this scumbag. Willing to take the fall for him because he disavowed you. Incredible. So Leon's trying to lie to us about the reason he got the contract. We know why he got the contract. He paid $230 million to Donnie. Of course he's going to get all the contracts, but we'll go into more of that. I think I have more shots that have to do with that. Ontario, Canada reports 84 new measles cases. Again, not fucking good, man. Oh, the Epstein files. What a joke. So the big reveal on the Epstein files is that some of them were given to a group of right-wing social media operatives. They turn everything into a clown show. That's Ron commenting on the Epstein files. Phase 1 has been given to Libs of TikTok, Colin Rugg, DC Drano, Cernovich, and Jack Posobiec. So these are the most hardcore MAGA mouthpieces, all funded probably by Russia, China, American sources, all abject traitors, all helping out a white supremacist movement, all utter shills. Not one thing they say can be taken seriously. Libs of TikTok, in my opinion, all of it, the whole machine, right-wing grift / terror machine, terrorizing people, stalking people, harassing people, trolling people, botting people, etc., especially Chaya Skank of Libs of TikTok, but they're all part of it. All these names. And it's funny, early in Donnie's first administration, Cernovich got invited to the White House as if he was a serious journalist and not just part of a right-wing white nationalist movement. Because you should see what Cerno did before he became part of the white nationalist movement. The kind of videos and stuff he was putting out. He's an utter fucking whack job. Not to be taken seriously ever. He got invited to the White House to get a binder full of useless Epstein information, mostly redacted, most of it already publicly known. That's how serious of a journalist he is. And Chaya Skank, part of a straight-up terror operation, probably funded by the Chinese or the Russians, or both. A hideous monstrosity of an entity. A haggard, ugly, disgusting, miserable cunt. Colin, I don't know much. DC Drano, that's just some random shill account on fucking Twitter. Jack, high-level right-wing grifter. Hegseth took him overseas recently. Again, I didn't know podcasting could lead to White House access, Donnie only gave these people the info, as far as I know. And they got to disseminate it, and we didn't get jack shit, but a bunch of redacted pages and information we already knew. Some of that even redacted. Not a very good effort here, but the rubes will eat it up and think they have a victory. That's the point of taking the photograph with Chaya Skank and Cernovich and others. And we'll get to more of that in a moment. Akash Bobo, one of the photos missing from the dossier I showed you earlier. Now, we've seen Akash Bobo before. I wonder if he was fired. Again, there's so many scandals with these cunts. They're into all this like Satanist stuff and helping pedophiles out online and shit and leaking info and racist stuff. I can't remember who's fired, who's not. So that's Akash Boba, 22-year-old. Looks like a fine, upstanding sociopath. And here's Nikhil Rajpal. I've got a few pictures, all different angles of the same, or different shots of the same picture. Next to Leon. Meet Nikhil Rajpal, a 30-year-old Indian origin techie in Elon Musk's DOGE. It's so exciting. Another young sociopath. Nikhil Rajpal. Remember that face. Another face that took part in the dismantling and looting of your country. I don't care if he got fired or not. He's still responsible. Sorry, kids. And there's the three of them. You know, just get a sense. You know, I want to give you the full scope of the dystopian nightmare. Not joking. Oh, here's Eric Swalwell. You were promised the full Epstein files. You got this. Indeed, that's all I saw online all day is bullshit like this. Again, they can't release the Epstein real information. Donnie's name's all over it. Donnie was his best customer. I've seen the footage. I've seen the 97 pictures of them together. The 97 pictures of him and Diddy together. I know about his days back in with the modeling executives and that whole world of escorting and modeling. Donnie was friends with all those people. Sex trafficking involved in all that. Russian mob sex trafficking in some of his buildings. This is what you get, the big reveal. Donnie's in charge, right? You got your MAGA utopia. All your Nazi heroes are in charge. They say we're going to release the files, and they release this. What does that tell you, Rubes? That tells you you're on the wrong motherfucking side of this. That tells you that all these people are part of it. That's why they can't show you it. Because if it only had the Clintons' names on it, if it only had liberals' names, they'd show you every bloody word of it. Notice, they ain't showing you none of it. What does that mean, Rubes? That means they all up in it. Donnie and his people. Bill Barr, Donnie, etc. Again, Epstein died on their watch. Bill Clinton wasn't president. Hillary Clinton wasn't president. Shortly after Bill Barr paid him a visit, do you remember that fat ass Bill Barr? Another one of your heroes. Again, you people have been on the wrong side of this your entire life. 30, 40 years, some of you people have been spouting this bullshit. And the big reveal comes, all your MAGA heroes. They have majorities in both houses. They got the Supreme Court. They got the presidency. They got the cabinet. So there's no excuses, son. You can't blame a liberal for this not coming out no more. How are you going to justify it in your head tonight? What mental gymnastics are you going to do? Oh, evil Mr. Patel stopped it, right? Sure he did. Again, Mr. Swalwell has an excellent point here. You were promised the full Epstein files and you got a bunch of black lines. You got some public information as well that was already public years ago, and they even redacted some of that to take Donnie's name out. That's how scared Donnie is. And that's how sloppy they be, because it doesn't matter anymore. They're going to police us all anyway. This is going full dictatorship. None of this matters. They're doing a little song and dance for us. Until they, the real big reveal, the real MAGA revelation. Oh shit, this is a satanic Nazi dictatorship full of Sieg Heil's concentration camps and all the trimmings. That's where this is going. Here's a picture of the Tate brothers welcomed into America, where all sex traffickers now have safe haven. All criminals, sex traffickers, jailbirds like Jared's dad gets a job. Nazis like Hegseth. Nazis like Leon. Social media influencers, libs of TikTok, DC Drano were seen at the White House holding up phase 1. Well, phase 1 didn't have jack shit, so I'd hate to see phase 2, huh? That's how they look. Aren't they not? Don't they look great? Disgracing the halls of the White House. These utter fucking shills, all financed heavily by Russia, probably. They got financing from somebody. This is incredible. The redacted page is what was given to the influencers at the White House today. The unredacted page has been freely available on the internet for years. This isn't disclosure, it's horseshit. Exactly. Exactly. And these are the two pages he's talking about. One's redacted, one's not. Because the other one, it came out years ago. We already saw all this. In other words, they redacted information that we already saw. That's how little they think of you rubes. And we're not done yet. Again, here's the unredacted. This shit's all over the internet. It's been there for years. I've read it to you. I've read Trump's name and all the contact numbers. Now it's redacted. Can't my shit go straight now? Oh, that's right. The picture's sideways. We're going to get back to that. Anyway, in response to a FOIA request from Crew, the Trump administration indicates that its decision to relocate DOGE into the White House makes it not subject to FOIA. Let's read the little text here. Again, these are little like legal descriptions that were given. As a result, USDS, that's DOGE, is not subject to FOIA, as the February 25 letter to Crew explains. OMB's FOIA requester service does not recall agreeing to accept FOIA requests specifically on behalf of DOGE, and it is possible that the service misinterpreted Crew's request to refer to legal U.S. digital service records belonging to OMB. OMB regrets this misunderstanding. No, it wasn't a misunderstanding. Donnie's changing the rules. And here's the thing you got to ask yourself, Rubes, and the rest of you. Why don't they want DOGE subject to FOIA requests? What's wrong? Well, I thought we were going to do transparency. I thought they were going to show us the money they saved. Why can't FOIA see the records here? What's the problem? It's almost as if they're trying to hide something. No, it's literally they're trying to hide something. That's the only reason to deny FOIA requests, or say a whole department's not even subject to FOIA requests. The only reason to do that is if you're hiding something. Crew states in the USDS request that a help desk amendment at attendant at OMB directed it to submit the USDS request through OMB. That procedure was not correct. After January 2025, USDS moved out of OMB, became a freestanding component of EOP that reports to the White House Chief of Staff. See Executive Order, blah, blah, blah. So the office was moved simply to avoid FOIA requests, and now it's not subject to FOIA, according to Donnie and the criminals. Well, Donnie is a criminal. And here's a fine, upstanding group called the Tampa Bay Young Republicans. And they posted about how they invited Andrew Tate and his brother to come speak. And here's what they said. Tampa Bay Young Republicans formally welcomes Cobra Tate and Tate the Talisman to Florida. As free speech absolutists, the Tates haven't been formally convicted of any crimes and are welcome to speak to our group. We're old enough to remember when a convicted felon won the presidency. That's in quotes. They're saying Donnie's not a felon. No, Donnie's is a felon, and he's a rapist, and he's a fraud, and he's a defamer. And just because you say you're Republicans or a Christian group or a Republican group, don't mean you any of that. You're just a hand to Satan. Especially defending Donnie's shitbags, one of the most crooked individuals that ever lived. Now you invite sex traffickers, known fucking sex traffickers, you invite them to speak at your event as young Republicans, as fine, upstanding citizens. Again, MAGA, don't ever try and convince me or us that you ever gave a fuck about the little children's or sex trafficking. Because I guarantee there's a lot of you out there right now or all day, every day defending the Tates and others and trying to convince the world that Epstein only dealt with liberals. Even you don't believe that. Yet you spout it anyway in service of your orange messiah and your agenda. Again, a young Republicans group inviting Andrew Tate and his brother to come speak. In other words, the sex trafficking, the pedos and shit, that's you guys. You're on that team, whether you can admit that to yourself or not, by making this whole MAGA thing happen, by voting for it over and again, putting more and more sycophants up there in the forefront. You're the hand of Satan. You're helping the sex traffickers. You're helping the pedos. All the people you pointed at liberals and said that's what you people are. No, that's what you people are. Again, I saw another 5 cops and pastors, youth pastors, etc. today. Crimes against minors. They ain't liberals. And again, the Tates get welcomed in by the whole MAGA movement, by Donnie, by everybody except for DeSantis was the only one I saw getting up in government as a Republican saying, yeah, this ain't cool. Not that he's going to do shit about it. Anyway, they actually did it. The fools actually released information that was already out there, but they had the audacity to erase Trump's name from the list. You can't make this stuff up. Here's one of the Krasenstein brothers saying this. Wow, so it's confirmed that the binder that Trump administration released to right-wing social media users includes flight logs that list Bill Clinton. The problem? The same flight logs also include Donald Trump, but the binder doesn't show that. Why? The binder is what was handed to the social media influencers financed by Russia. That's what they mean when they say the binder. So again, they're pointing out that publicly available info, those flight logs that we've known about for years, by the way. And we've known Donnie was on them for years. The binder has those redacted out or missing. In other words, again, publicly available information that we've known about for years, they even redacted that and put it in the Rubes' faces as if it were a victory. That's how little they think of you. Again, that's how stupid they think you are. So the binder doesn't show that. Why? This is pure propaganda. Yeah, it is. And Chris Jackson made this prediction a few days ago. It's going to be hilarious when they release the logs that were already put out in 2021 and they have removed Trump's name from them. So he predicted this, Mr. Chris D. Jackson. And then this happened. They actually did it. The fools actually released info that was already out there, but they had the audacity to erase Trump's name from the list. That's why he's saying it. He literally predicted it before it happened. Kevin Sorbo. I don't know if you know Kevin Sorbo. He played Hercules on a shitty TV show. I never liked it or watched it. Even he said it's bullshit, the what was released today. First, Kevin says the pedos in Hollywood are shaking right about now. So this is before the info came out. Kevin's part of fucking Hollywood, man. But Kevin knows you are rubes and you dig talk like this, and it keeps him relevant and it keeps him part of the movement. But even Kevin's disappointed. He can't even keep up the facade, the MAGA facade, I call it. So nothing new is released today. So much for government transparency. That's Sorbo saying that, son. Sorbo the maggot, not Sorbo the Greek. Sorbo the maggot. Kevin Sorbo is die-hard James Wood type maggot, okay? And I like James Woods in a lot of movies, so that pisses me off that he's MAGA, but whatever. Mel Gibson too. This guy, I don't like this. This seems strange to me. He's basically second in command. He's the undersecretary of the Navy. Is that where this is? Is that what they call him? Trump announces that Department of Defense Undersecretary will be Hung Chow. Yeah, Department of Defense Undersecretary. So he's like second in command, this guy. And I don't know why, but I just get a really bad vibe from this motherfucker. And I'm wondering why Donnie in a racist Nazi movement keeps putting people like this at the top. Patel, an Indian. This gentleman, I assume, is Chinese. And I've been saying, they say he's a refugee and escaped and blah, 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 blah. Then I see in the comment section, this guy hates liberals because of what the fascists did to his family. And he equates that with communism and socialism and liberalism. This gentleman. That's what the commenter said about him. He hates liberals, is what the person said. I was like, oh, that's why. So this guy's an utter sycophant, and he's got some very extreme views, I can tell. There's something wrong with this gentleman. He's been through some horrible shit in his life, and he got some scores to settle. And I know, again, this is a white supremacist movement in America, a Nazi movement, where one of the leaders of it is from apartheid South Africa. Yet they hire an Asian man to be second in charge in the military. They give an Indian man the head of the FBI. It doesn't make sense, does it? Well, they're sycophants. They're willing to do things. And believe me, the conversation has been had behind closed doors. Are you going to be willing to do this when we call you up to do it? Whatever role this motherfucker has. And I have a sneaky suspicion. What have I been saying for a while now? Maybe they'll invite Russian troops in to police us. Maybe they'll invite Chinese troops in to police us. Again, they said liberals would do this. This isn't a new theory. It's been out there for a while, but it came from the right-wing conspiracy people pointing the finger at liberals. Well, I'm pointing the finger the other way. This Asian gentleman, I have a feeling, I thought to myself, wow, he could really communicate well with the Chinese soldiers they're going to bring in to police us. Because Chinese soldiers are used to doing that. It's 1984 over in China. And that's not the slightest exaggeration. So when I saw him, I thought of the Chinese troops that maybe will one day be policing us. because they might not want to use our troops to do it. Maybe they'll send our troops over to another country to police them like they've been doing for years. So Hung Chow. And I thought I had the whole Trump comment, but I don't. Some of it's cut off. And he was, as a refugee, worked tirelessly to make proud the country something, gave his family a home. Oh, the country that gave his family a home. He went to the Naval Academy, master's degree in physics. I don't give a fuck about any of this. Combat special operations. He's got experience in combat at the Pentagon, according to Donnie. Hung Chow. And I got a real bad vibe from that dude. I don't like where it's going with him. I don't know. Well, Hegseth, you know, I've already explained how I feel about him. His own mother can't stand him. So here's a coordinated talking point by a person named Chad Prather and DC Drano. And it's around the Epstein release. It's word for word the exact same social media post, the exact same comment. No, it's not a repost. They're both putting the comment up as if it's theirs. It's not scripted, and it hasn't been distributed to the various right-wing grifters. And I'll read you a little bit. Today I met with President Trump, VP Vance, AG Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel in the Oval Office. They handed me a binder copy of the Epstein files. This is the most transparent administration in American history. The best part? This is just the start. I'm not going to read the rest. Bondi said there's thousands more files and blah, 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 blah. Well, if today is any indicator of what we're about to see nothing. So that's DC Drano. That's one of the people that got invited to the White House, I believe. And then there's this Chad Prather person. Word for word, the same exact comments. So the talking points have been distributed around the Epstein thing. And they keep promising more in the future. It's always coming in the future. Because we didn't get jack shit today, Rubes. I know, you're hoping it proved that the liberals are all the pedos and you guys are the good guys. Nope. You're the pedos, and the liberals right now are the good guys. Can you believe it? Despite what you've heard for 20, 30 years. You know how I know that? Because the liberals are the ones that are about to be persecuted like Christ was persecuted. That's how I know that. That's how I know you're on the wrong side. You are about to be the persecutors. You have been for 8, 9 years. You have been every time you voted GOP, all the way back to fucking Nixon. You've been the persecutors. You still are. Now you've taken it to extreme level, and now your persecution is going to backlash around on you as well. And cost you your entire country and your world and your future and your children's future. Again, not the slightest exaggeration. You don't have to believe it. It's still going to happen. Sorry. The talking points have been distributed over the fake Epstein bullshit that was all redacted because Donnie's name's all over it. We already know. We've seen some information, again, from 2021. They just explained it to you. Social media influencers who received the Epstein binder were caught posting identical messages, making it seem like a coordinated advertisement. Well, that's everything in the right-wing grift MAGA. Every talking point every day is a contrived talking point and is designed to be a coordinated advertisement. That's a great way to put it. Every day, all day. That's the right-wing grift / terror machine. That's all it does. And it takes about 0.3 seconds of research to debunk pretty much every claim the right ever makes every day. That's how bad they are. So no, both sides aren't the same. They're not even remotely the same, son. Both sides have not been taking Russian money, son. Sorry. Both sides are not dismantling your country, son. That's only one side doing that. Both sides aren't looting your country, son. That's only one side doing that. Both sides aren't stealing your personal information and are classified secrets. That's only one side doing that. Both sides aren't working with Vladimir Putin directly, taking money, giving assistance, even UN votes, voting with Vlad. Both sides ain't doing that, son. Your orange messiah is. MAGA is. You are. You are. Elon Musk is wasting everyone's time and money and serves no real purpose. Well, yeah, I just kind of said that. Looking more and more Asian every day. I didn't know Leon was Asian. But some Russians do look Asian the farther east you go, right? And again, Leon Musk, Muscovy people are the people of Moscow. That's what they used to be called. So Musk, Russian name, no matter if they say it is or not. Muscovy people. That's Leon. And I just explained how if we just got rid of Leon and all his contracts and his DOGE cunts, we'd save well over $500 billion like that. I want $3 million for that advice. I'm dead fucking serious. Because it's better than the most Harvard-trained accountant could give you as far as cutting. Over $500 billion, son, and $8 million a week wiped right off the books. That's savings. That's trimming the fat. And boy, Leon's fucking fat. Attorney General Pam Bondi, in a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel, accuses the FBI of withholding Epstein documents from her. And no, I'm not reading one word of it. You know why? It's complete and total theater. Bondi isn't mad at Cash. Cash isn't the bad guy coming in, withholding all the info from you guys. No, this is a planned, contrived bullshit controversy to get Miss Bondi off the hook for not giving you the fucking information. Just blame Cash. Blame the Indian for it. The Rubes will run with it. It's theater. They're not mad at each other. There's nothing, it's just a contrived thing to get Miss Bondi off the hook. That's all. And to, once again, have you Rubes waiting years for the information. You're waiting for the day. When it finally comes out, you get nothing. You get a performance by Chaya Skank and Cernovich at the White House. You get no information. You get a performance by Miss Bondi and Mr. Patel, and that's all you got. None of this is real. No, they're not mad at each other. This letter's a fucking joke. It's just to get Miss Bondi off the hook for not giving you the fucking information. And what she did give you is redacted. And most of it's public already, but from 2021, and even some of that's redacted. Again, they don't care anymore. This is going to a really dark and evil place. That's why they're being this sloppy now. They're trying to get to that other goal that you don't know about. Here's Donnie and the reporters again. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release the Tate brothers? Trump, I know nothing about it. And the commenter says he's lying. The Financial Times reported that the Trump administration put pressure on Romania to lift the travel ban. Yes, Donnie knows all about it. He knew they were in the air on the plane. Because there's more to this. Donnie turned to the reporters like, oh, are they on a plane right now or something? And the reporter's like, yeah, they're flying here. As if Donnie didn't know. Of course he knew. He helped get them out. And, you know, sex traffickers know where to go. Right to the Antichrist. Right to MAGA. Right to you. That's who you're in league with. For 30 years, you've been in league with them, spouting the talking points, pointing the finger at other people. Look at the squirrel. Look at the liberal squirrel. We're not pedos. We're not child molesters. We're not sex traffickers. Donnie doesn't do that. No, you are. If you're not one, you're helping them out. You're on the same team. And the ones up at the top, yeah, they probably are. That's why they point the finger at everybody else as a pedophile. Oh, this is just Donnie at the cabinet meeting when Lawrence Jones was walking out. I guess he works for Fox News. Donnie was on a mic saying, "Say it was unbelievable, Lawrence." He was telling Lawrence how to cover the cabinet meeting, like, really talk it up. In other words, he was being the typical dictator telling the press how to cover him. But Fox has no problem doing that. Fox is pure propaganda, all lies. There ain't a damn true thing on it. And that's why they, had to settle over defamation for $750 million just recently. Because they're defamers, they're liars, they're intentional liars. Donnie and the reporters again. What would you be willing to do if Vladimir Putin did not stick to the terms of any deal on Ukraine? Donnie says, I think he'll keep his word. I've spoken to him. I've known him for a long time now. We had to go through the Russian hoax together. And he goes on and on with that. So he basically says, I trust Vlad. Yeah, that's not good. There's a saying about a leopard telling people that, if you vote for me, I'll eat your face. And then people vote for the leopard and they're surprised when the leopard eats their face. Look, he's got the fork and knife right there. That's Donnie. That's Leon. That's what you voted for. Isn't he beautiful? If only Leon and Donnie looked that good. That is MAGA. That's what you voted for. And now all of you are going to come to this awakening. I heard the leopard say he was going to eat my face, and I voted for it, and then he ate my face. So that's where this comes from. And it's a beautiful leopard, by the way. It's gorgeous. Got his fork and knife all ready for you, rubes. Here's someone saying, I resent having to know who these people are. In the old days, they would be passing out pamphlets and working at a car wash. Indeed, they're not talented people at all. And they're talking about Cernovich, Chaya Skank, Jack Posobiec, the people that were invited to the White House. They're all jokes. None of them are reporters. Most of them are financed by Russia or China. They're abject fucking shills. And I resent having to know who they are too, honestly. But unfortunately, they're part of this political thing. They're part of this evil thing, this Satan thing. They're on Team Satan, all those names. It's the same thing I said back during the Cornell days to you people. I said, I basically gave the same sentiment. I resent having to know who Chris Cornell's wife is and these other family members and their friends and colleagues, because they're scumbags, so many of them. Just like this situation, just like this person saying, I resent having to know who Mike Cernovich is and Chaya Skank and all that, because utterly void of talent, utterly. The only reason they have any notoriety is they were willing to sell their soul and be a mouthpiece for sociopathy. Way too many people. Tim Pool, another example. Benny Johnson. I could give you Candace Owens. I could give you example after example. They were all willing to sell their soul to be a mouthpiece for sociopathy. It's the only reason they're where they're at. Oh, here's Cerno right here. And I don't usually talk about Cerno much anymore because he's kind of fucking irrelevant to me. But hey, he's getting invited to the White House again, just like last term when Donnie was president. Right in the beginning, Cerno got invited. I don't think he ever got invited again, though. Donnie likes to keep up the facade in the beginning of the term that he cares about any of these right-wing grifter, rube people. He doesn't. And it'll probably be the last time Cerno's at the White House. AG Pam Bondi wanted to get out what she could. No, she didn't. That's a lie. That's Cerno talking. She's a lawyer, not a media personality. And the OODA loop got fucked up. Wow, he's making a lot of excuses for Miss Bondi. Miss Bondi's the ultimate authority. What the fuck is Cernovich talking about? It happens. Trump admin is being sued 1,000 times. Terrorists are attacking. Everyone is working 24/7. No one has a magic wand. Wow, it sounds like complete chaos. None of that's happening. They all look like they chilling to me. Pam did not want the information out, or it would have been out. Nothing got fucked up. There's no it happens. There's no 1,000 times lawsuits. There are some lawsuits, but that's no excuse for Miss Bondi not to put the info. What's a lawsuit got to fucking do with it? Terrorists are attacking. No, that's not. No terrorists are attacking. Everyone's working 24/7. No, they're not. It's typical DC, 9 to 5, go home, sleep with the mistress, whatever. It's the same old, except, Satan Nazi version of it. Whatever freak shit they're doing. No one has a magic wand. Well, actually, you guys want a dictator and you're perfectly fine when Donnie dictates stuff. Why doesn't Donnie ever dictate releasing all that Epstein info? And when he's asked about it, by reporters, he's like, oh, well, there's a lot of lies in there. We don't want to see that. There's a lot of lies in there. That's because Donnie's name's all up in it. He knows, again, Epstein's best customer, son. There's footage of them partying together. I've gone through it all with you through the years, and I don't have to pull some bullshit info off of Facebook and make a lot of connections that aren't there, like you cunts do on Facebook with your bullshit Pizzagate stuff. Nope. I just go right to the video of Donnie and Epstein hanging out, pointing at a bunch of women and laughing, who they were about to victimize. You don't see a tape like that with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. I ain't saying Bill didn't take part in the Epstein stuff. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's no vidya of Bill taking part. There's vidya of Donnie taking part. In fact, he invites Epstein to the party. Guest of honor. Sorry. It was his life, man. He lived it. Bill, at least, if he was taking part, at least said, yeah, don't put me on video, please. I'm not a fucking idiot here. Donnie, like, fuck it. He all dancing, like, gritting his teeth, like, we gonna victimize some bitches tonight. That's your boy. Grab him by the pussy, all that. That's your boy. Doesn't even ask. Just grabs him by the you-know-what. In other words, you're the hand of sex trafficking now. You're taking part. You put your name on it. You help these people. I think the Tate thing today kind of proved that, didn't it? America's Epstein Files, that's in quotes, reviewers MAGA meme guy DC Drano, libs of TikTok, former OAN anchor Liz Wheeler, and Pizzagate promoter Mike Cernovich. Yes, that's when I first started learning about Mike Cernovich. I'd known about Alex Jones. In my opinion, Alex and Cerno were the real Pizzagate preachers in the beginning, and then it kind of branched out to everyone else. Everyone else saw how great of a grift it was. A lot of you probably financed by certain groups that I didn't know about at the time. Now I know. That's why I've stopped watching you back then. Anyone that talked about Pizzagate and was grifting off it, I immediately stopped watching their channel and never went back. So that told me they were not to be trusted. They were there for a reason, probably financed by someone or had a nefarious agenda. Because it was all lies. It was all bullshit. The real sex traffickers, the real people that hide the Epstein info, well, they're the people here in this photo. As they're holding the binder up for you, they all know the real info can never come out because Donnie's all up in it. They know this. These cunts right here holding the binder, they know this. They're being paid to help with this whole operation and make you think you got a victory today. You got absolutely fucking nothing. You got theater by a bunch of right-wing grifters with zero talent, just willing to sell a soul. And you got theater between Miss Bondi and Mr. Patel. You got nothing else but that. Sorry. Trump officials race to rehire bird flu employees. Trump officials race to hire bird flu employees as egg prices skyrocket. So we race to rehire bird flu people. We race to rehire Ebola people. We race to rehire FAA air traffic controllers. Are you seeing the pattern here? In other words, the DOGE cunts and Leon are taking the meat cleaver to the whole federal workforce, and then all these fucking fires are springing up. And then they're like, well, can you come back to work? You know, fuck you cunts again, just so you can grift and keep the money and loot our country. And dismantle agencies that we need. Every one of you on the DOGE team, every last cunt of you. We got to worry about, oh shit, bird flu response. Where are those people? Oh, they got fired by some worthless cunts. Where's the Ebola response team? Oh, they got fired by some worthless cunts. Headed for the lake. Oh, what about the air traffic controllers? Let's get Leon on there begging people to come apply to be an air traffic controller. I mean, do you hear me? I would never get on a flight right now with these cunts in charge, what they're doing. Oh no. You ain't gonna catch me on a plane, son. They might kill me for speaking out or arrest me or whatever. You ain't gonna catch my ass on a plane though, you know, if I have any thing to say about it. Oh, the nuclear. I forgot the nuclear. That was my favorite one. Let's hurry up and rehire the nuclear people as well, because we fired all of them. Because we're just dumb college dropout cunts that just want to be like Leon Scum someday. And we didn't know we were firing key nuclear people that we needed. Hey, it's only our nuclear arsenal, you fucking idiot rubes, who made this happen. It's only our U.S. Treasury that they've accessed. Only your Social Security that they've accessed. Only every piece of information about you that they've accessed that AI now has control of. That dumb cunts like Luke Farritor or Karistine. They've all seen it. They've all accessed it. They've all installed their shitty AI in it. So that's 4 just now. And the same thing happened with Twitter when Leon started firing everybody. The big genius that walked in with the kitchen sink like a total fucking douchebag, who took a company that was worth $20 billion and made it worth $8 billion. Fired a bunch of people and then realized, oh shit, I can't run the website by myself with my crew of young boys that follow me around. I got to hire some of those people back. So we've already seen this this show by Leon and the cunts of firing so many people just because they want to loot the place and dismantle the place and show everyone what fucking geniuses they are. We're going to see what geniuses you are when you stand before us at the lake, son, all of you. Every name I mentioned on that list. So they want to show us what geniuses they are, and we end up seeing headlines like, they had to scramble to hire the nuclear arsenal people back. They had to scramble to hire the Ebola people back. They had to scramble to hire the bird flu people back. They had to scramble to hire the air traffic controllers back. Did you just hear what I fucking said to you people? Do you want Ebola? Do you want bird flu? Do you want to crash on your next flight? Do you want a nuclear problem with our nuclear arsenal? Because of Leon Scum and his band of fucking young cunts? Well, we got it anyway. Oh, we at the end, finally. This is the reason I sang Rick Ashley's song in the beginning. This is an account called House Judiciary GOP. Everyone knows it's run by Jim Jordan. Everyone. And I mean fucking everyone. Breaking Epstein files released. And there's a link there. And then it got community noted. You know why? This is how stupid they think you fucking rubes are. This is how little concern they have about this issue. This is how little concern they have for you. The link provided does not contain the Epstein files. The link plays a Rick Astley music video instead. Did you just bloody hear me, son? House Judiciary GOP account run by Jim the fucking moron Jordan. And Jim Jordan covered up a sexual abuse scandal in Ohio State, by the way, intentionally, on purpose. To the point he was calling people on the phone, crying, begging them not to tell on him and to keep it quiet. That's Jim fucking Jordan. I heard he stinks like shit, too. That's why he can't wear a jacket. Because he wears a jacket, he sweats and smells like abject shit. That's Jim. One more time. So Jim in the House Judiciary GOP, a very official account. It's been around for a long time. Epstein files released. You go and click on the link, Rubes. You go to a Rick Astley video. All that hope, all that time for the big reveal you had. You've been talking about it for 30 fucking years on Facebook. Lying, speaking for Vlad, preaching the gospel of Assange and Jones and Cernovich and Satan, pointing your fingers at liberals. You swear you're going to get that information out. You've got full control over the government, and I mean full motherfucking control. MAGA does. Your Messiah, your orange rapist Messiah, is at the head. He could release it all for you at the snap of a finger with an executive order, whatever he wants to do. He's got all his sycophants, his people. You wait years, you get nothing, and you go to press the link, and it goes to a Rick Astley video. This Rick Astley song, it should be the theme song for the downfall of America and the end of our world. Remember that. It's a perfect illustration for what's going on, Rubes. When you click the link, you don't get the big reveal. You get a song you've heard 1,000 times in every elevator, in every convenience store, every Walmart, over 30 years. The same old, same old. And that's literally what you got. They just string you along again and again, and you maggots keep fucking falling for it. Keep conning you, Bannon with the wall, Donnie with all his fucking scams he got going. But you dig it. What you really dig is the hate and the cruelty, let's be honest. Unfortunately for you, that's going to have you ending up in the lake, that having that in your heart and co-signing the literal Antichrist. Therefore, you must turn away. If you do not, then you face us at the lake. I hope for your sake you turn away. What more do you need to see? Do you need to see a 20-footer, 80-foot gold statue of Donnie Shitbags in Palestine? Will that make you believe? I doubt it. I think everyone's pretty much made up their mind. And again, this isn't a warning project I'm doing here. This is a guide you through it project. I expect very few people, and I mean very few, to change their mind at this point. They've had 3 chances. Why would they change their mind in the future? But whatever, again, some names are written in the book, some names are blotted out. It's all our choice. Spend your last minutes fucking around, cracking jokes, whatever. You know what the end's described as in the story? People are giving and taking in marriage. People are living life. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're laughing. They cracking jokes. They drinking beer. They having a good time. Ah! Then the end comes. Like a thief in the night, it's described. Like a thief in the night. Do we ever expect a thief in the night? No, we wake up and all our shit's gone and we feel like we've been violated. Only this thief is different. That's your too late moment. That's where the party ends. And for a lot of you, the party ends when you just take the mark. So your time is short. I don't know exactly how long, but I would say inside of 10 years. My prediction again was 3.5 years from the time Donnie started, that it's all going to hit the fan. Other people predict more. 10 years, 8 years. Mine's 3.5 from the time Donnie got elected. Started his reign. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. Anyway, the point is, don't take the mark. Turn away from this movement. Get out of the cult while you still can. And for the rest of you, the point is just to guide you through it, because I'm one of the few people on this planet that has full understanding of this. That makes me very dangerous and very valuable to you. Dangerous to others, valuable to you. Whether you realize it or not. I'm one of the few humans that has full understanding of this. I don't want to be, but I am. Now I have responsibility. If there's 100 of us on the planet, I'd be surprised, honestly. That just have full understanding and we ain't afraid to say it. We don't pussyfoot around it. We don't pretend we don't know. We just say it. He's the Antichrist. Leon is the false prophet. They work for the dragon, who is Satan. And if you're a part of it in any way, you're walking down the path of destruction and the path that leads to the lake. And if you take the mark, you're definitely going in the lake. No redemption. There's no forgiveness for that. Redemption's impossible. That's where this is headed. Donnie's going to want you to worship him. That's where this is headed. The golden statue commercial should have proven that to you. I told you that a long time ago. What Donnie is: chaos, division, war, worship. That's where we're going. Worship being the final goal. You'll see it all play out, just like I said. Maybe you'll believe then. Hopefully you haven't taken the mark by that point. Anyway, until the next episode, turn the fuck away. Have a good night.